Hey butterflies, welcome back. So today we're going to be showcasing MoM Wanda in Marvel Infinity on Roblox. So let's get into today's new video. So MoM Wanda spawns in with this really cute morph, really accurate to the movie, and she has a custom walk idol as you can see, and her cape animates to certain things she can do as well. And yeah, she spawns in with also like animated hair, and the only way to get MoM Wanda is you actually have to own base Wanda, which is 850 Robux, which is basically the end game Wanda Maximoff Game Pass. And then after that you can buy the Scarlet Witch or the Multiverse of Madness skin for 1250 in the character shop. And yeah, so let's get into all of her abilities and info. So she spawns in with 100 stamina, 250 health, and a few keybinds to herself as you can see. And she doesn't have any shift keybinds or any like sprint keybind unfortunately, but the way that she does get around the map pretty quickly is her F keybind, which is just flight, which allows her to fly around the map. And as you can see, her cape or her cloak also like animates to like the wind, and she has like the hex bolts on her hands. And the cool thing is when she like lands on the ground after flying, she makes like this impulse on the ground just like she did in the movie as well, pushing people back and doing a little bit of damage. And then her next keybind is C, which allows her to just teleport on the map wherever her cursor is, and she actually has really far range with this in my opinion. And it also has a really short cooldown, which is cool. Then click is just her normal combat, which is just like hex bolt or hex orb you could say, and basically she just hits the target back and does damage, and obviously like it does quite a lot of damage since she is quite OP. Then E is basically like auto shield you could say, but not really, you kind of have to hold it obviously. But as you can see, if the thug shoots at me, she makes like this little shield type of thing. Then T is telekinesis, which allows her to lift up objects or targets, and then if you click again you'll just throw them and do minimal damage, and yeah, pretty cool. Then X is hex slash, which just makes like the slash of the hex, and it does quite a lot of damage and pushes quite a few enemies in your range back. Then V is disintegrate, which allows you to literally just disintegrate someone from reality as you can see. However, it will not count as a kill because it is pretty OP and the cooldown is pretty like, you know, short, so you will not get coins for this or points, whatever. But yeah, pretty cool ability for like a finisher. Then Z is her hex beam, which allows her to just make this ongoing like beam, just doing damage and pushing the target back over time, and it actually does a pretty decent amount of damage. Then U is telepathic sense, which allows her to just look around the map. However, she can't see around the entire map, but she can see like quite far range, and then if you just click an outlined target, then you can go into their mind and see their perspective, which is really cool. Then we have H, which is like, it's called Psionic Blast. Basically you charge up this Psionic Blast between your hands, and you can see it's done when it like starts flashing and it's bright like that. And it's one of my favorite abilities because it's actually really funny. Basically like you can literally blast one of your targets into literally like oblivion. Like you can just blast them so far if there's nothing in the way. As you can see, that thug literally went like across the entire map, which is really OP, even though you are slowed and it takes a while to charge up. Then B is healing, which allows her to convert her stamina energy into health, as you can see, which has this really cool animation and cool effects with her chaos magic, and I really think it's really OP and useful. Then we have R, which is Hex Blast, which allows her to basically, I prefer using these two abilities, the next two keybinds, this one and the next one, when you're flying, because it's just easier. Just allows her to shoot these like two explosive like hex bombs, basically doing damage and throwing targets back. And then we have Q, which is a very similar keybind, but it shoots like 5 or 4 of these type of bombs, and as you can see, it does a lot of damage and a lot of impact wherever they hit as well. They're a little bit like weird and hard to aim, but I'm still getting used to that. Then we have this next keybind of hers, which is one of her like most, I guess, popular keybinds, which is K, which is Dreamwalk. It allows you to basically dreamwalk into another Wanda in the server, no matter what Wanda they are. Unfortunately, I didn't have any Wandas in this server, as you can see, but the character's name will just appear on one of these like hex spheres, and you can just click it and you'll dreamwalk into them, being able to control them. I'm not sure if it's a like glitch or a bug, but you will die if like the person you're dreamwalking dies as well, which is a bit annoying, but yeah, that happens, but don't reset because that is glitch and bug abuse. Then Y is just hex, which allows you to create the hex, of course, and it looks like this. It's really well detailed and has like a cool animation. And then once the hex is made, it will like go quite red and like this creepy ambience around the inside the hex, and you'll basically be able to see this list of everyone who's inside the hex. It's a bit buggy with NPCs, as you can see, because there's a lot more prisoners, thugs, and villains in here, and I only see 3, including myself for some reason. But she has 3 prompts, which is freeze, pain, and sleep. Freeze obviously just freezes them, pain just does constant damage to them, and sleep just makes them fall asleep on the ground for a bit. And then a cool thing about the hex is no one can enter and no one can leave the hex unless you like take them with you. I think like you can bring someone into the hex, and I'm pretty sure you can take someone out like with telekinesis, or if you throw them out, I'm not sure. Then by pressing Y again, you can basically just like absorb the hex back into its center where you created it, as you can see, and it will just make like a huge blast in the middle. Then her last ability is G, and it's mass telekinesis. I really don't understand how this ability works. It really doesn't work for me, honestly. As you can see, I click it and it just like makes me do nothing, and I can't change my abilities or stop doing it, so I just end up dying. But it says you pick the targets up and then they get smashed back down the ground, but let me know how this works because I honestly can't figure it out. But that'll be it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos, and make sure to check the description box down below for all the links to this game and my socials, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!